Lady Mirange tells me that a delegation from the de Vespe family just landed on the island.
Isn't that the family who rules over Peren? From what I've heard, they're not good company.
I've never ferried them myself, but it's said they are treacherous assassins. I wonder why they're here. We should talk to Lady Mirange. She'll be able to tell us more.
Ah, Lady de Sardet. Did you get my message?
Indeed. The arrival of the de Vespe family in Tirfredi is surprising, and no doubt worrying. But without knowing their intentions...
Nothing good can come from that family, for the interests of the d'Orsay family and Serene. But I truly cannot tell you anything about the reason for their presence. The message I received was brief. Aurelia de Vespe announced her arrival on the island and asked to see your cousin as soon as possible. She and her entourage seem to have settled in a region that I do not know. Adag ol Credo, north of Vikshadir. I think it would be good for you to locate her and try to find out more.
I know the place. It's close to a cove that we sometimes used to get supplies. We stopped using it when we lost a ship there. But I've never set foot there. I seem to remember the natives considered the region as sacred.
You should also take advantage and visit these unknown lands. Who knows what they have in store for us?
You're right. It's better for us to go and see what it's all about. What can you tell me about the de Vespe family? I've never met them, and everything I know is hearsay.
And, strange and worrying as it is, the rumors are justified for the most part. Nevertheless, I'm not an expert, and I've been away from the continent for a long time. I'm sure Sieur de Courcillon will be able to tell you more. But know that they have envied the d'Orsay family's power in the congregation for generations. They have tried to impose themselves many times at its head, holding up the antiquity of their city Peren as a pretext. They bribe messengers, use blackmail and trickery, even murder, according to some people. And don't back down for anything. Be very careful with them, Your Excellency, and don't believe a single one of their lies. They're real vipers. Do you have any other questions?
What do you know about Aurelia de Vespe? Is she an important member of the family?
As far as I know, she's the prince's favorite daughter, and the only one left. I seem to remember that she was married to a promising young nobleman for a few years. I heard he died in suspicious circumstances, but I couldn't tell you what happened or if it's even true. But if you want to find out more about her before you go to meet her, you should go to speak to Sir de Coursion. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know the city of Peren?
Legend would have it that it's the oldest city in the congregation, and its ruins bear witness to a glorious past. It's a beautiful city with a river running through it, and whose art and architecture have long been a source of inspiration for the old world. Nevertheless, it doesn't have direct access to the sea, which stopped it from thriving and becoming as powerful as Serene. That's what finally pushed it into the background, amidst the larger cities. Do you have any other questions?
Did you know that the congregation had already tried to colonize this island more than a century ago?
No, I did not. But I suspected as much. Seeing the ruins got me thinking. If I understand correctly, you've already found proof of this and you're not happy about it.
I discovered that I'm originally from the island.
And that had been hidden from you. I'm really sorry, but I assure you that I was not aware. You should be asking the prince for answers to these questions.
My lady, I have to go. Goodbye.
De Sade, you seem somewhat gloomy. What's troubling you?
As you may have heard, the de Vespe family has sent a delegation to the island. It's led by the prince's daughter herself.
Ah, most curious. And very worrying indeed. But you didn't come all this way in person just to bring me the bad news, I take it?
You read my mind. Knowledge is power. I need all the information you've got. What can you tell me about this family?
Well, the House of Vespe has a very long history. They gained their first noble titles through violence a few centuries ago. Then, commerce and close ties with Ptolemy saw them rise to become the princes of Peren, their ancestral city. However, their lust for power is boundless. And it's no secret they wish to reign over the whole congregation. No luck on that front so far, naturally. Their ambitions have always been curbed by the Dorsays, along with Serene's strategic advantages over Peren.
Quite the history, then. And what about today?
They're more ambitious than ever. When the Malichor epidemic hit Serene as hard as it did, they saw it merely as a weakness to exploit. They attempted a series of maneuvers to oust your uncle from the council. But then the epidemic ended up hitting Perrin too. However, I don't think they've given up. And if they've come all the way here, it's surely to gain influence and to undermine your family. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Do you know anything in particular about the prince's daughter, Aurelia de Vespe?
She's a young woman, about your age. Very beautiful, so they say. And she's dearly beloved by her father. Despite her age, she's already endured her fair share of tragedy. Her husband, whom I'm told she deeply loved, was brutally murdered not long ago. What's more, Aurelia's older brother Octave de Vespe is rumored to be the one behind it. And I don't just mean he gave the order. That said, don't be fooled into thinking she's but a tragic, defenseless young widow. Oh, she's very much her father's daughter, ambitions and all. I have no doubt she'll be a formidable opponent for yourself and Constantine. Treat her as such. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Given this family's reputation, what's stopping us from arresting them on the spot?
What, without evidence? That would do no good to your uncle's reputation and his position on the continent. I'm sure your cousin would delight in watching him squirm. But the Dorsey family could never recover from such a situation. If you arrest her without evidence, the council would be forced to intervene. And that is exactly what that old serpent, Alexandre de Vespe, wants. No, you must play along for now, but be extremely vigilant. Look out for poison in particular. The de Vespes have untraceable poisons down to a science. Their other weapon is compromising information, which they store in special chests without keyholes. Should slander not suffice, their assassins step in. It is said that Perrin's river is riddled with the bodies of their enemies. Take care you don't end up joining them. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Did you know that the congregation have already tried to colonize this island in the past?
Oh, yes. I learned about it in some old archives, but the prince made me swear to keep it a secret.
And I suppose that you also knew that it's where I was born.
No, that part I guessed once I arrived here. But I knew that you were not the child of Madame de Sardet. I knew her husband, you see, and despite what you may have been told, you do not look like him. The portraits you saw had been modified to make it seem like you did. I'm sorry. I imagine that uncovering such a lie must have hurt you terribly. But you can be certain of one thing. Your mother loved you dearly.
But why? Why hide the truth from me for all this time?
I don't know. The prince has his own reasons, and he's the one you should be asking. As for your mother, I believe she eventually started believing her own lie.
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sir de Corsillon.
My blade, and let's go!